Football fanzines have been part of the fabric of supporters' matchday experiences since the 1980s. Charlton Athletic's fanzine, Voice of the Valley, is one of football's longest-running publications. However, its editor, lifelong Addicts fan Rick Everitt, has decided to call time on it this season, much like many other fanzine founders have over the last decade.
Well, it started in 1988, February 1988, at which time Charlton were playing at Selhurst Park. And there was an embryonic campaign to get the club back to the Valley, and we joined the campaign and became the journal of the campaign, I think we'd probably have to say, and it went from there. I think prior to the late 80s, football fans didn't have much of a voice. Obviously this was before the internet and social media, so there was no way for fans to communicate with each other except in the pub. And when the cheap printing technology became available and home computers became available, fans could publish their views, discovered that they could do it and that they'd be quite popular and that other fans would buy them, and it all took off from there. And I think that changed the culture of football quite a lot. It was part of a protest movement, if you like, but it was also part of a wider fanzine movement that developed very quickly over those 2 or 3 years. I mean, very, very soon, from there being virtually no fanzines, maybe half a dozen up and down the country, there were hundreds. And Voice of the Valley was part of that.
The Voice has had a huge number of contributors, as well as a brilliant group of people to help sell it on a match day, come rain or shine, and sometimes even snow. Die-hard Charlton fan Nigel Pamment is one of those trusty sellers, and he explained what the Voice has meant to him, as well as its contribution to the club's history.
We were fighting to get back to the Valley, and if it wasn't for the fanzines communicating so that we knew what action to take, when to go to a meeting, what to do, I don't think we would have got back to the Valley. So it was like getting dispatches from the front. The fanzine would come out and you get your new instructions like you were going into battle, and it was brilliant. And if it wasn't for that, those of us who love our clubs, love our football, which is probably nearly everyone listening to this, we certainly wouldn't be back at the Valley, and I'm sure a lot of other football clubs have been glad of their fanzines and what they've done. Because at the end of the day, money might talk a loud voice, but the pen is mightier than the sword.
Although he's sad to be saying bye to the Voice and to see the decline of publications like it, Rick is positive that future generations will find other ways to carry out the function of football fanzines in their own modernised way.
I think, we shouldn't be too pessimistic. There are lots of people out there doing other things around Charlton and indeed at other clubs. There are online fanzines, there are blogs, there are fan TV channels. There are all sorts of routes. Being part of that community has been really enjoyable. So all in all, it's been a fantastic experience, and it's not one that that I would have forgone for the world, really.